Hey everyone, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil, and it's time to talk person of interest. And I'm getting really excited for this show, guys. It's been fun since I started watching it, but my interest got piqued a couple of episodes back. I think probably with Blue Code, I think is the episode that really sort of got me intrigued about where things are going, really got me excited for what paths this show could take. And and the show's evolving rapidly in the recent episodes. We still have an underlying framework of a person of interest of the week and what that case may mean, but everything is now connected. We're just seeing what all these connections are. Our regular assets, Carter and Fusco, our relationships with them are rapidly evolving. Fusco's trying to get himself into HR and earn their trust, but not betray Carter and just the good guy ethic that he's trying to cling to. Carter is she. Well, at the end of last episode, she basically told Reese that she can't work with Finch and Reese anymore. It's too hard for her. It doesn't work with her morality, and I'm curious to see what that looks like. Does she cut off ties completely with them, or what? And what do these resultant changes do to the Carter Fusco dynamic? And I love that I'm not talking about our main characters right now. I love that I'm talking about these secondary characters that have become really interesting. They still don't fully trust each other, and yet they're partners, and they are both on the same side, and they don't know it, but there's a greater sense of distrust within the NYPD at large, and it seems pretty common knowledge, if you are a cop, that there's a bunch of dirty cops in the system. And I don't know if, like, Carter knows that there's an organization, there's HR, there's this, that it's organized crime, it's not just corruption. But that sense is certainly there, and therefore there's this underlying lack of trust with almost every interaction within the NYPD. Um, it's exciting. It makes the show more complicated, and the sense of realism is heightened because of it. And I'm really excited to see a deeper dive into that, which I think is coming because we're trying to infiltrate Fusco into all of that corruption. And we brought back Elias last week. He seems to know everything that's going on in the New York underworld. Even if he doesn't actively control it, he knows enough that he's a useful asset as well. And yet he's not just being played by Reese and Finch. He's playing them back. And yet there's a level of honor here. He respects Reese, and therefore, well, he may use Reese to find out where his father is being kept in protective custody. He still does Reese the honor of honoring their original agreement, and letting him live, and letting the baby of last episode survive. He's not a monster. He has a big game plan that we aren't fully privy to at this moment. I'm very curious to see where it goes and how powerful an adversary Elias becomes. At the end of last episode, he brought his father to him. Moretti was let out of prison, was being kept in protective custody because Elias was after him. Maybe Elias just wants to kill Moretti. Maybe it's as simple as that. But I sense that there's more to it than that. I think Elias has greater plans for Moretti than just a simple revenge murder. So I'm curious. I'm curious. This episode is called Identity Crisis, which doesn't immediately trigger any, I wonder if it's about this or about that. It's a fun episode title. We're going to be messing with identity, but I don't know whose or in what regard, so the speculation's pretty limited. So let's just jump into it and find out what it's all about. This is episode 18 from season 1, and it's called Identity Crisis.
The machine kicked out a number that has one of the smallest digital footprints I've ever seen.
No photos?
I can't even verify the gender. Hester's living off the grid. No photos online.
I'm going to say it's a she, based on the intro.
People put all their information on those sites.
Of course, that's why I created them.
You're telling me you invented online social networking, Finch?
The machine needed more information.
I am Mark Zuckerberg.
2 bank accounts, 2 apartments, 2 phone bills.
I'd say we're looking at a person leading a double life.
Can't cover them both. Time for you to get some fresh air. I'll call Carter.
Detective Carter's not exactly your #1 fan right now.
Yeah. Oh, she's not taking Reese's calls.
Any sign of Hester at your location?
Well, who knows?
It'd help if I knew what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Well, Carter's issue isn't with you, Mr. Reese. It's with your methods. Our methods. No photos, though. What are you seeing?
Well, it's very Spartan.
If he lives and works in Brooklyn, what's this place for?
Love nest for someone else?
He's working as a bar back.
Okay.
Bar back? How can he afford to keep up the rent on both places?
Thanks for all the help. It's much heavier than I thought.
Are there 2 Jordan Hesters? Uh-oh. Oh.
Jordan Hester. She's here in her apartment. This isn't one person living a double life.
It's 2 people living one.
2 people sharing identity. Okay. Huh. So what's their relationship? Which one's protecting the other? Why is he soaked?
Welcome back.
Thank you for making them evacuate the building.
Thank the automatic sprinkler system.
Only one can be Hester, so someone is an imposter.
Good luck telling who's who. We're not dealing with a typical identity thief here, are we?
I guess that's the easier solution than they're in on it together, but I feel like they're in on it together.
Well, you got HR buzzing. Don't worry about it, though. I'm pretty close to finding out who the major players are.
I didn't ask you here to talk about HR.
Which one?
Exactly.
Luxury co-op on the Upper West Side ordered a credit check 6 months ago. Might be worth a look.
You're not telling me there's a 3rd Jordan Hester, are you?
I don't think so.
Oh, I'm curious. I'm confused. It's not immediately apparent.
Detective Carter. I'm Special Agent Donnelly. We worked together on the Delancey shooting last month.
Right. What brings you back to the A?
You, actually. You refer to him as the man in the suit.
Oh, yeah.
That this man may be connected to dozens of unsolved homicides and assaults over the years.
FBI's after him, too.
It's all in my reports.
No. No, it's not.
Okay.
I'm taking a look at this 3rd apartment, Finch.
Okay. We got a new style. We got a
Don't know which Hester it belongs to.
pill lab.
Ecstasy. Are you sure?
Well, it's either that or someone's really into chemistry.
Is
Found
that
a guy who can tell us what's going on?
okay? No, that's not our bar back.
At least we know why our ID thief stole Hester's name. Jordan's emails indicate that she works in antiques.
Jordan? Are you on a first-name basis already?
No, I'm just tired of using pronouns.
Pronouns can be hard.
Odds are either your Hester or mine is the boss. We need to stay close, Finch.
Oh dear. I think I just lost her.
It's gonna be her. She's the less likely, right?
Sometimes I wonder if he'd be published today.
Kafka.
I'd be first in line, but then meandering exposition is kind of my thing.
Why are you talking to her?
Because I haven't your gift for avoiding people. Besides, she seems nice, and she has excellent taste in literature.
Or she knows you're tailing her and she circled back for a closer look?
Maggie, I'm taking off. I'll see you tomorrow.
I've lost her again.
It's not losing her. You just saw which way she went.
If we've mistaken this woman for a drug dealer, isn't it possible that someone else has too?
Anything's possible, Finch.
Did you bring a weapon?
No. No. She's the boss.
Because I think I know which one of them is the imposter. Which means your
Oh.
Hester's in trouble.
Okay.
you're in danger, come with me.
Who were those guys?
Don't look back. Just keep walking.
Okay, we went predictable.
My guy's the drug dealer.
And your drug dealer has placed the real Jordan Hester in danger.
Narcotics found evidence that he was buying chemicals. But the distributor couldn't pick him out of the lineup, so they had to cut Hester loose. All the distributor knew was a name. He had actually never met the boss. You think he'd go after the girl?
That's what I need to know. Which means you need to find out how he stole her identity.
That's who stole my identity? A drug dealer?
So you know about the ID theft?
Well, I take it you're not a cop.
Not quite.
Franklin, you must be Fusco.
Oh,
Detective Des Franklin, ID Theft Squad.
awesome. Another Wire alum.
We think he's cooking E.
Seriously? There's a case last year. Suspect claimed he was innocent all the way through trial, said somebody stole his identity.
No one believed him?
My unit catches upwards of 100 new complaints every day.
Jeez.
Can't bring us in every time somebody says he didn't do it. I'm pretty sure he's still locked up.
Oh,
That's my cue.
credit card theft right there.
I'm Detective Franklin. I'd like to talk to you about a string of credit card thefts.
I hope we get more of him. I forget the actor's name, but he's great in The Wire. Seth Morrison, is that his name? Seth Gilliam.
Never mind. Laptop's not password protected. Guess he's not as careful
That's
as I thought, Finch.
sus. MDMA tutorial.
And since when do seasoned drug dealers need how-to tips from the internet?
They're in cahoots. They're still in cahoots.
We should get you a hotel room.
Can I at least pack a bag?
I'm not sure that's wise.
Even if you came with me?
Okay. Yeah. Is she taking advantage of Harold right now? Like, is he onto her?
So this batch will be ready in what, 24 hours or so?
My nana was cooking it.
Yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's doing.
I'm not a drug dealer. I've been saying that for a year. Nobody's believed me yet. You know, maybe today I'm not in the mood.
We think what happened to you may have happened to someone else.
You believe me?
Until you give me a reason not to.
Something's not right here.
Damn it, we're out of time. The cops are on their way here right now.
What about the cook?
Forget it, this lab is burned. Wipe everything down for prints. I'm gonna pack this stuff up.
Who supplied him with the new batch of drugs? Yeah, she's sus.
It's okay.
Did she dose you?
Why do you have a picture of her?
That's Jordan Hester. She's the victim.
No, that's Mary. She was the receptionist at my accountant's office.
Mary.
Yeah.
Who the hell are you?
I think we may have gotten this backwards, Finch. My Hester's not the identity thief, which means yours is.
Yeah, roofie. Okay, I'm glad we didn't go standard.
I know you're the real Jordan Hester.
Then you know I'm not going anywhere.
You're quite discombobulated. Bobby.
Yeah,
Bobby.
bobulated.
It'll pass. Don't worry, pretty soon you'll feel much better.
Did she just dose him with E?
I will shoot you.
How? The safety's still on. No offense, but I'm surprised you fooled these guys as long as you did. I know your life was stolen. Here, I even know who stole it.
Gonna use the rest of this supply, about $500,000 worth, to lure that bastard out into the open.
Okay. It's a terrible plan.
It really is.
So let's do it. Finch, are you there?
I most certainly am.
You need to get out of there. He wasn't planning to kill
Nope.
her, so she must still be planning to kill him.
I believe you've drugged me. Oh, wow.
Finch, are you all right?
No.
Never been all righter, but I might have been outfoxed. Finch, outfoxed.
Finch, what's going on?
Wow. Wow.
Finch?
Who is he? Where is he?
Nowhere that matters. And not in the lab. Oh, no.
Harold. Harold. Hydrate, Harold, hydrate. What's she whipping up here?
I'm sorry, Harold.
Starting a fire, I guess. Okay.
The FBI doesn't run classified ops unless there's issues of
National security.
Used to be, the CIA worked closely with us. Then they stopped. And to run these ops, they needed dangerous, often sociopathic men like the one you've been chasing. We think he's selling his services to the highest bidder.
No.
We believe he's been working with one of the organized crime syndicates, specifically a man named Elias.
You think he's working for Elias?
We know that you've been contacted by this man, Agent Snow. We believe that he's the man the agency uses to sweep these domestic ops under the rug.
What's your interest? You want to put one over on the CIA?
Yes. I want to expose the CIA for what it's become, but we can't have rogue government hitmen operating on domestic soil. We're going back to all the old cases, re-interviewing witnesses, looking at physical evidence. So,
Okay.
beyond your report, is there anything else you can share with us?
Nothing comes to mind.
Oh, why not throw the FBI into the mix too? I kind of love it.
You alone?
What? Hello, detective.
Very bad.
Get away from the microwave. It's probably gonna explode.
Some kind of flambe.
I got him.
Good. Thanks, Lionel.
Come move! Drop the bags! Drop the bags!
Get rid of them. More than enough chemicals in here to deal with the bodies.
Wait. I've got something important to show you.
Yeah? What's that?
Hydrochloric acid. You don't want me to drop this?
You're lying.
Yeah? Relax. It's just water.
The freaking kneecapping, man.
Don't you think?
Knock it off.
Where are we going?
I'm gonna take down some bad guys.
Harold.
We had to meet here.
Relax, Richard. Dinners with clients are a write-off. You should know that.
The accountant's in on it.
Now, who do I get to be next?
Try this one instead. Nice mugshot. Impressive rap sheet, too.
Tara Verlander. You're under arrest.
Thank you.
Hope we get the other guy out. The guy that's been locked up for a year.
Which do you like better? Good cop or bad cop?
You tell me.
You can be both. Come on, Fusco. How much is Carter gonna give to the FBI? How much does she trust in Reese versus what the FBI is telling her? She can't think he's a merc after everything she's seen. Nope, she's not taking those calls. Alright, we're getting this scene. That's good.
Whoa, why didn't you tell me I had so many books? I'll be out of your system in a few hours. But you should really drink this so you don't get dehydrated.
Yep. Hydrate.
You should really get some sleep.
You don't want to talk?
You might regret it in the morning.
Look at Reese not taking advantage of the situation.
Ask me anything.
Come on. Ask.
Good night, Harold.
Jeez, Reese. The self-control.
Good night, Nathan.
Good night, Nathan. Oh.
Stay tuned for scenes from our next
Is he
episode.
just confused with old Nathan? But... okay, wait. What are we supposed to make of that last remark? Obviously, we know Nathan is his partner's name from IFT, who's now dead. Why would he call John Nathan? Is he just that high? Or we know Reese isn't John's real name, just like Finch isn't Harold's. But do we know John is John's name? Is there a weird connection between Reese and Nathan that we don't yet know about? Huh. I'm curious. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Huh. I'm digging where the show's going here, guys. I mean the identity theft episode, that main plot was the. I mean, it was fun. It was interesting. It had a couple of good twists in it. I thought it was the woman, and then I was a little bit disappointed when it turned out to be the guy, except it wasn't the guy. It was the woman after all. Yeah, no, it was fun, but that wasn't the interesting part of the episode. The interesting part is what's happening now that Carter is distancing herself from Reese and Finch. She's not taking those calls anymore. So now it's on Fusco to be both good cop and bad cop. Is he going under with HR, or is he helping Reese with cases? For now, at least in this episode, he was helping with a case, but we're not going to give up on the HR thing. So how does he handle doing both of those? I get why he doesn't want the caller in this case, for instance. Pass that on to the identity theft division. Great guest starring role for Seth Gilliam. I always love seeing actors from The Wire in other things. He was, guys, watch The Wire if you haven't watched The Wire. It remains one of my favorite TV shows of all time. It's so good. You won't be disappointed. Give it at least 4 episodes. That's all I can say. It's a slow burn at the start, and they don't feed you any information. You have to figure it all out for yourself. But man, is it worth it. Anyway, I get why Fusco's not taking the callers. You don't want to look like a super cop if you want to get in with the corrupt cop organization within the NYPD. So Fusco's got an interesting road ahead of him. And Carter has just been presented with this whole new thing. We've just thrown the FBI into the mix, guys. We already had the CIA and Agent Snow as this complicating force in the story, not a straight adversary, at least not anymore. That seems to have depressurized since the mid-season stuff when we got Reese shot and all of that sort of thing. But the FBI is investigating the CIA. There's these interagency rivalries and conflicts that are playing out in our story now, which is super fun. The CIA is not supposed to be operating on domestic soil. The CIA is all about foreign operations. And yet they don't seem that. We know that that's not the case. We know that Reese was in New York in the past while still working for the CIA. That's when he stalked his ex-wife, his ex-partner, his ex-girlfriend. And so now Carter's aware that the FBI is looking into this, and they have a lot of it right. They have, I don't know if they know who Reese is particularly, but they know he's the man in the suit that Carter's been investigating. They know that he's ex-CIA. They know that he's ex-military, and they think he's a mercenary for hire. Now, they've got that last bit wrong, but they've got everything else right. They know all the cases he's attached to. They think he's working for or with Elias, which obviously isn't the case. But they're awfully close to the truth right now. And Carter's faced with this issue of how much is she going to tell the FBI? Obviously, they know what's in her files, but she also knows more than that. Obviously, she's never put anything in her files that she was in contact with and helping Reese. So, and she can't tell the FBI that, obviously, either. But she knows so much more. But the question is does she still think what Reese is doing is the right thing? I think she believes in the cause of their work, but she doesn't believe in his methods, especially after the screw up with the baby a couple of episodes ago. So, where's her mindset? I understand her dilemma, but now she also is aware that there's this further investigation into Reese. Obviously, knowing about Reese and Finch is a major complication for her in her life. And would it be better to just take them off the chessboard, get them arrested, put away, and then just go back to being a good cop, fighting the good fight? Or are they, on the whole, a force for good and therefore worth protecting? It's an interesting question for a cop as clean as Carter. So I'm curious to see where that storyline goes. But I love that we've got this interagency rivalry now. It's not just the government is after Finch and Reese. It's like the FBI is after Reese, but really they're after the CIA. Reese is just the path to do that. They want to embarrass the CIA. I mean, like there's literally that level of rivalry and conflict between these government agencies, which should be cooperating, but clearly aren't. I like that. That's a fun twist, and it feels real. Like, not every organization that's supposedly on the same side is working with the noblest of causes. And yet the FBI feel, even though they've got these, their motivations are almost personal, they've got a cleaner record, at least so far, than the CIA do, who feel really dirty. There's something about it. Covert espionage on American soil of American citizens that just probably rubs a lot of Americans the wrong way. But yeah, man, I like that the story is getting complicated and intriguing, and these characters are being put in really difficult situations, and so far, Finch and Reese are facing that the least. They have a very clear mission. They know exactly what they're doing. They're single-minded in their mission. But I like how complicated it's becoming for the secondary characters who know about them and yet have to do the right thing with their jobs. And yeah, it's every episode at this point in the season is just getting me more and more excited for what's coming next. And I still don't know what's coming next. I don't know how this story's evolving, but it feels like every episode it's becoming more complicated. This isn't a show that just has here's the clear big bad guy that this season is all about defeating. No, we've got adversaries from everywhere, and we're not afraid to just sort of throw the FBI into the mix this late into the season. But between Elias and Root and the CIA and the FBI and all the various crime organizations that we've made enemies with over the course of the season, there's so much acting against our team of two of Reese and Finch that I didn't even say HR, the corrupt cops of the NYPD. There's so much acting against us that any episode could pursue any of those storylines, and yet there's connections between all these adversaries too. They haven't all been revealed yet, but yeah, it's just such a complicated web, and I'm really digging the uncertainty of it. Most storylines, especially in mainstream narrative, simplify, and they make the conflict just between our protagonist and our antagonist, and everything else sort of falls by the wayside. And the conflict is just this duality between those two, and instead we're create the main conflict in this series is either it's unclear for any one episode. You know, are we actively dealing with corrupt cops in this episode, or are we dealing with Elias in this episode, or are we dealing with the FBI or the CIA, or is it a storyline that isn't obviously attached to any of those just yet, like this episode? Or is it better to say that the conflict of this show is Reese and Finch versus a more abstract antagonist? And let's not personify that antagonist, but say that the antagonist is corruption or injustice, or it feels like that might be the driving sense when Jonathan Nolan created the series. Is that sort of how he envisioned what the show was about, so to speak? But I'm just speculating, obviously. It's too early to draw conclusions. We still have a handful of episodes this season before we dive into season 2, and obviously there's more seasons to follow after that. But I really look forward to how this season is ramping up. I'm really curious about how the season concludes, what showdown there's going to be at the very end in our last episode. What's that all about? Is it Elias? Is it something else? How does the FBI complicate things? How does HR complicate things? Yeah, it's obviously not clear yet. And I like that. I like not being able to predict what happens next. So, man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the show. And I'm excited for more. I hope you guys are too. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for doing all the fun algorithm things that let YouTube know you like what you're seeing here on Neil Talks. And until next week, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.